Hey guys, it's Noah. No long intro here. Just want to let you guys know if you want to go ahead and party up with people in the comment section for this Easter egg, make sure you put if you're Xbox, PlayStation, PC, whatever, and then what your username is on there and how people can find you. Leave a like if you enjoy. Make sure you subscribe. Let's get into it. So the first step of this map is to go ahead and flick on the power switch in the powerhouse on the surface of the map, and then head down to the bottom into the generator room and turn on the ventilation system. This will start about a 1.5 minute lockdown where all players have to be inside, and you just need to kill all the zombies, survive in here for about 1.5 minutes, and it will ventilate out the system and turn on the ventilators. Now, once the ventilators are turned on, once this is finished, head back out to the surface and you'll see 4 houses that start smoking with this green smoke. Now, these are the 4 houses that you have to ventilate. It'll be very, very easy to spot which ones need to be ventilated. It'll just have that green smoke everywhere. And you need to hold square on the ventilation vent until it goes all the way to the left and into the green. It'll start on the red. You need to hold square on it for a certain amount of time until it gets all the way to the green. And just be wary because as soon as you start doing this, a couple zombies will spawn in. Just make sure you get it to that green area of the dial, and then you are ready to go on to the next step once you have done all 4. Once you've ventilated all 4, you need to go ahead and end the current round that you're on, because the very next round at the start, Rushmore will start talking to you. He'll tell you to come over to where he is, which is in the operations center right at the beginning of the map, and you need to hold square to basically access Rushmore, and he'll basically introduce himself. You'll introduce yourself, and then he will say that you need to basically prove yourself to him before he helps you with anything, etc., etc. So the first thing you need to do is acquire 4 codes, put them in a specific order, and we're going to do that right now. So the first code that you need to write down is right here next to Rushmore himself in the operations room. It'll be written on red on that location. There's not multiple spawn points for this, so it's pretty darn easy. You just need to write down the numbers that you have in your game. The second one is over here in the APD interrogation. Just write that down. It'll be hiding behind a computer over there. The next one is down in the APD control area right next to the pyramid. Just head down the stairs, shoot the papers that'll fly up, and you'll get the third code sitting right there on top of the control panel. And then just go ahead and cross the hall through the secretary's area, and there will be a key rack right there. You can hold square and grab the key, which will help you reveal the 4th and final code. Once again, just write these down in the order that I'm showing you here, because this will be the order that you put them into the system every single game. Hold square on this little desk, it'll pop out, and you'll see the final code sitting right there. So once you have that, you're just gonna go ahead and once again enter the codes as I showed you in the exact order that I showed you here. And if you've done it correctly, it'll basically ask you for 1 code at a time. Again, just entering them in the order that I showed you here. Pretty darn easy. And then once you finally enter in the last code, he will basically say Project Toy Soldier has been activated, and this will kind of allow you to progress in the Easter egg number 1, but also allow you to get the Civil Protector for this map that'll help you out, shoot zombies, etc. He's free the first time, then costs 3,000, but that will be used a little bit later on. Let's get on to the next step of the Easter egg. So once Project Toy Soldier has been activated, you need to head down into the bunker and find a glowing and staticky TV. You'll be able to not only see it, but also hear it. I'm going to show you a couple different spawn points right here. One of them is right there next to Ted. The second one is over here on the left of the Pack-a-Punch. Again, it'll be glowing and staticky, and you'll be able to hear it from a couple feet away. It'll definitely be very noticeable that it's a staticky TV, and obviously not a black screen. That's the third spawn point right there. And again, just look around here, see if you can find your TV. And here's the 4th one right here. It's very important to keep in mind that it has to have that kind of TV model, because there are some more TVs that will be glowing and buzzing, but it is not the correct one. But once you do find your correct TV, you need to go ahead and get a Galvanuckles kill on a zombie right next to it. Doesn't matter what kind of zombie, all you need to do is just get the Galvanuckles from the truck in the very middle of the map on the original Nuketown area. Get a Galvanuckles kill, and then it'll start reading out a string of letters and numbers. So once you do kill a zombie with a Galvanuckle in front of it, it will turn to a Broken Arrow logo, and then once you hold square on it, it will start reading out a string of letters and numbers. Now, these letters actually correspond to house letters, and then the numbers are actually a time. So it'll say Z0645. You need to go ahead and know that that's house C at 6:45, and you're going to be setting different clocks in these houses to these times, and you need to do it in order. So the order that it tells you is the order that you need to set the clocks around the map. So the first house that I got is C at 6:45. That's the first one that I'm going to do. But here we go. First, I'm going to show you exactly where the clocks are in each house. This is house A, the one that I'm showing you right here. This is house A, and that's the clock at house A right there. Also, each one of these houses does have a reward when you put the correct time into the clock at the right time in the correct order. So House A will actually give you a brand new countermeasure system, which is just a trap. That's where the clock was in House B up on that wall. That will also give you a new countermeasure trap whenever you put in the correct time in the correct order. The one you saw right there was House C. That one will actually give you a free pack-punched weapon out of a weapon locker whenever you do that one in the correct order. So that's really, really nice when you put the correct time into that one. House D is right there in the transfusion facility. That one will just give you, once again, another countermeasure trap. Right here, this is House E upstairs in the operation room. That's where the clock is, and that will actually give you that free ray gun Mark II upgraded on the wall right there, which is the best reward out of all of them. And then last but not least is House F. Here's where the clock is on House F, and that will, again, give you a trap. So here's my gameplay. I had House C first, so I go to House C first, and then I put 645 into the clock, and that actually gave me my upgraded weapon. And again, you do have to do these in order. You can't just go to House F because you want the reward from it, or you can't just go straight to House E. You just basically do them in the order, and you're only supposed to have 5 out of the 6. So right now I'm on House A, so I'm holding square to add 15 minutes. Every time I hold square, it adds 15 minutes to the clock, or if you melee the clock, it'll add an hour to it, so that'll just speed it up a little bit in your process. Here I am at House F, and then I go to 8:30. It gives me the reward of opening up the trap, and then finally I go to House B, which is my last one. I set it to 3 p.m., and then it gives me my reward. It says my security clearance green has been granted, and that is the last one. So as you notice, there are 6 houses, but I only actually got 5 different house numbers. The one that I didn't get in my game was House E. It could be a different game. It could be a different house in yours. That's totally fine. Whatever one it is that you go to, you just want to go up to that and then hold square on the last clock, and it'll automatically adjust to its time. So as you can see in my game, I got 7, and then it'll give me the reward anyway. So House E was the house that I didn't get out of the list, but I go up to it, I hold square on the clock, and it immediately automatically gives me exactly what I want, which is the reward, and it gives me the time that I'm going to be putting in. So you notice mine was 7, and I basically just put in 0700 for 7 p.m. That's what I put into the keypad because that's what my last house's number went to whenever I just held square on the clock. The house automatically took the clock and put it at 7. So I translate that to numbers 0700, and that's what I put into the keypad. And then whenever you do that, Rushmore will say, nope, sorry, I still don't trust you. Access denied. You have to go through our protocols and everything like that. So it'll sound weird because he says, nope, sorry, I still don't trust you, but it's actually the correct step of the Easter egg. So once again, just do all 5 of the houses that it gives you in the correct order. If you fail, you'll have to start over from the very beginning again. But once you get to the last place, all you have to do is take whatever time the clock automatically spins to and put that into the system, and you'll be good to go to the next step. Let's do it. So once you put your extra house's time into the keypad, Rushmore will end his statement with the words, give proof to the night that our flag is still there. Once he finishes that, one of the characters will reply kind of snarkily to that, and then you need to go up to his console and hold square on Rushmore, and he will basically start talking about your core values, and you have to prove core values, and he'll talk about a red Nova Crawler, which is the next. So at this point, 9 times out of 10, there will be a red Nova Crawler zombie that spawns down in the bottom of the generator type area, basically where you did the ventilation stuff at the very beginning of this Easter egg. Now, this guy is very, very easy to kill. He dies in 1 bullet, and he's really, really annoying to do again if you fail this. So make sure you're trying your hardest not to shoot him, not using alternate ammo types like blast furnace or anything, because those will kill him. Your katana will kill him. Your wraithfires, everything will kill him. He will die in 1 shot to anything. So the hardest part about this is just not shooting him and leading him all the way back over to this building right here inside of the transfusion facility. Now, once you get him here, you're going to lead him over to the wall, and he will basically crawl up in this zombie window, and this step will be completed. But it's very annoying to do, and if you fail this, you have to go on to the next round and then keep killing zombies downstairs and keep just running around in all those areas, but mostly the generator area, and eventually you'll get a quote that you've spotted him, and you'll get another chance at killing him. But be very quick about this. It's really annoying to do again if you fail it, but just go back down to that area, and good luck with finding him getting it done the first time. So once you finish the previous step, he will finish talking about core value number 1. You need to hold square on him once again to activate core value number 2, which is protecting the integrity of Broken Arrow and everything like that. He'll talk about someone has stolen something and that you need to get him back. So you need to head over to Adam or Sergeant ADAM, and then you need to go ahead and activate him. He is in the storage facility underground, and he will be free the first time that you buy him. If you've already used him before, you really shouldn't have needed to at all. But if you did, he will be 3,000 points. But but if not, he'll be free the first time. And whoever buys him, he will follow. So whoever buys him needs to head over to Diner and then head to the little platform halfway between the exit of Diner and the main kind of upper level of Nuketown. Right here in this little area where all the barrels are, and there's a door kind of hiding behind the barrels is actually where Marlton is hiding. Sergeant Adam will walk up and he'll say, Sergeant Adam is in the AO, and then Marlton will freak out and say, is that robot there? Is that an Adam unit? Okay, I'll give you the canister, and then he'll open up the door and chuck out a canister. So all you need to do is just pick up that canister whenever he throws it out, and you're going to take that over to the transfusion facility and put it on the wall next to all the other ones that look exactly like it. So once that's done, you're on to the next step. So once you've finished with that step, head back over to Rushmore, access him one more time by holding square on him, and he will talk about the third core value, which is prevailing over the impossible, and he will talk about how he needs a new server core. Now, in order to do this, you need to go back over here by the power switch and get one of the electric zombies to zap this wall back here. Basically, you just need to have them shoot at you, move out of the way, and hit that back wall, and then the panel will open up, and you'll be able to grab the server out of there. Now, it only lasts for 8 seconds, so you need to craft the teleporters and put one teleporter down right there where I'm showing you, and then the other one right next to where the server core actually spawns. Now, you're going to pick it up by holding square and immediately run through the portal, and that little countdown will start. You'll be able to hear it, and if it burns out, you don't have to go to the next round. You can just try again. But you need to go through the teleporter and then run it to this back wall into the server slot. Put it into the server slot. Those little green dots show you how much time you have left before it kind of burns out and you have to grab it again. And it'll say, yay, you used the teleporters to prevail over the impossible. Now that it's installed, we need the 3 codes from our founding fathers. Now, basically, there are 3 posters around the map. One is that George Washington poster. One is this kind of like modern artsy looking poster right here. And then the third one is over here in the top of this greenhouse. And they'll be very, very loud, glowing green posters. And of course, what you need to do is you need to get a zombie with brain rot to get turned right next to it. Pretty much turn a zombie with brain rot right next to it. It'll knock the poster off a wall and reveal 3 different codes. It doesn't matter the order of these. You just need to get all 3 of the codes for the next step of the Easter egg. Once again, just turn a zombie right next to it. He'll knock the poster off the wall and you'll get those numbers. They'll be different in every single game, but you need to get all 3 of those numbers and then enter them in within 1 minute of each other. So get the 3 codes first. Again, doesn't matter the order. You just get them from the 3 loud glowing green posters. It'll finish that, and then you access Rushmore one more time to get to the 4th core value. So the power will go out for the next step, and you need to switch 6 different breakers onto exactly what I am telling you here. This will perfectly adjust the lights. You really don't even have to know what you're doing here. Just follow exactly what I'm saying. This first one here in the diner needs to be set to the up position, so just head over to this one in the diner. Turn the little handle so the handle is at the up position, and move on here to the beds here. And the beds also needs to be switched to the up position. I'm not actually switching them in this gameplay. I just had this recording showing you where each and every one was. And then the third and final one that needs to be turned to the up position is right here in the generator room. So those 3 boxes that I just showed you need to be in the up position, and the following 3 need to be in the down position. So the first one is right here in the solitary room. It is right outside, right next to this wall by. This one needs to be set to the down position. It's currently in the up position in this gameplay, but it needs to be set to the down position. The next one is here in storage. Again, this one needs to be in the down position. So you'll go ahead and switch that to the down position. And then the final box that needs to be in the down position, the final box overall, is right here in the lounge. That one needs to be in the down position. It is currently in the down position in the gameplay. So once you have turned all of these to the correct position, as you can see, I'm in the diner, turning my last one that was down into an up position. It perfectly matches up. All of the lights are green, and you go over, and now you're able to interact with the power switch. Turn back on the power, and then Rushmore will start talking to you again. So he'll do a little speech. You'll go over, and you'll hold square on his computer one more time, and then you are on to the next step. So after you restore his power and talk to him one more time to access him, he will tell you about the 5th core value, which is basically going around the map and finding mannequins that are now glowing blue. This will be Adam mannequins, and you need to perform a lockdown where you stay alive for about a minute. It'll spawn a bunch of zombies in. You'll basically just have to survive. You don't actually have to kill anyone. You just have to survive for about a minute. At the very, very end, the mannequin itself will explode and drop a body part. The first 2 will be arms, and then the last one will be the head. But basically, they only spawn in order order one at a time. So this is the first one we had here. Here's another location that I got, which is just down in the diner. It will spawn in just, again, one at a time, one after another. You can't find all three and then decide which one you want to do first. It'll only spawn in one at a time. But as you can see, it finishes out, it unlocks you, and then he actually drops an arm. So you just pick that up. And then after you do the second one, you'll be onto the head, which is, once again, just another random location. It could be a spot you've already looked before. You just need to survive for the certain amount of time. It will explode. He will die. And then for the third one, you'll get an arm. And then for the third one, you'll get the head. So once you have all three of those, go ahead and take him over to the mannequin in the APD interrogation room. It'll replace the mannequin and you'll start talking to Peter McCain, which is just absolutely insane. And once you've finished that, once Peter McCain has finished talking, Rushmore will tell you that you need to go ahead and find the elemental orb, which is the second to last step of the Easter egg. Let's get into it. So the elemental orb will essentially spawn in any window outside the map. It could be above ground, it could be below ground, but it will make kind of a sound like the posters did, kind of an electromagnetic, magical whirring sound whenever you're getting close to it. And whenever you do find it, it'll be this blue glowing orb. Just go right up next to it in the window. It should pop right out of the window. You'll start getting quotes from Rushmore talking about it. And you basically just need to escort it. You have to be close enough to it in order to make it move. But obviously, there will be 100 zombie spawns. You got to really stay safe during this. I recommend going over to Rushmore if you manage to find the orb without activating it, entering the code 3279, which will make all the zombies on the entire map very slow for 5 minutes. This code only works once per game. Just make sure you actually activate it before finding the orb itself. And basically, you just need to be close to it. It'll take a really indirect route over to the mannequin of Peter McCain that we just did. It'll basically go in and out of a lot of different stuff, but eventually, it'll make its way over there. If you pretty much leave it for over 10 seconds, it'll despawn. You'll have to wait till next round. It'll spawn the exact same spot, and then you can try to escort it again. But once you successfully escort it over, Rushmore will tell you guys to one more time go over and talk to him. So you go over and do that. You'll access Rushmore. He'll basically tell you that the MPD is available for you to kind of open up and get your elemental shard out. So now we are on to the boss fight. Let's talk about it. So once you're set up and ready to go to the boss fight, go ahead and head to the APD release sequence button, which is on the console in the APD control room, and there will be a bunch of zombies that start spawning in, and you need to kill about 20 or 30 of them to fill up the soul box in order to kind of draw the Avogadro out in the first place. Basically, to get set up for this Easter egg, I just recommend every single perk. Make sure you have a full shield, make sure you have Wraith Fires and everything like that reloaded, or Monkey Bombs if you were really lucky, and just have a Ray Gun Mark II. You can get the new elemental ray guns if you want. I just really prefer the Ray Gun Mark II because it's really good for actually attacking the Avogadro, which we need to do throughout this so he doesn't shut down these different generators that we're going to be filling up. But basically, that's what I recommend getting set up. Get you one good gun, one good AR or something like that, and then basically the Ray Gun Mark II, and start killing the 20 zombies, and you're basically going to be locked downstairs. So make sure you're set up before you activate the APD release sequence. Anyway, the Avogadro will come out. He'll start threatening stuff. A nuke will launch on the Nuketown facility, and he will basically laugh it off, say, haha, nice try, and the actual fight will start where he just basically, instead of just standing there, starts attacking you. So you immediately need to run down to the storage facility and activate the soul capture device. Now, there are 4 of these, and you have to do them in a certain order, and as far as I know, the order is the same every single game. So the first one is in storage. Just hold square on it. It will start sucking up souls. Again, it's the same amount of souls as we did earlier. Just come on. Be very careful here. Like, the Avogadro will absolutely one-shot you given the chance, and you just need to stay very safe from him. You can stun him by doing damage, but it basically doesn't help a whole lot. Just basically try to avoid his attacks, and if he gets too close to the generator, make sure you shoot him to stun him, because he will actually shut down the generator if he's left alone with it for too long. So that is the second one that we did right there in the lounge. So basically the order is storage, then lounge, and then you head over to the diner. Same exact thing in the diner, just kill a lot of zombies. The area is pretty big. You get a max ammo and a carpenter after every one, so it refills your ammo, refills your shield. Pretty darn nice. And then the final one that we have to do is in beds. It's pretty much the same thing 4 times in a row. It's really not that difficult. The only thing that really changes throughout this entire first 4 phases of the boss fight is that the areas that you complete will pretty much shut off from the rest of the map. So you need to be very careful not to run back in those areas or stay there after filling up the soul box boxes because they get overcharged with electricity and will insta-kill you if you're not safe. So that being said, those are all the really easy parts. Just make sure you fill up the soul boxes. Make sure you don't get too close to the zombies. Just kill the zombies as quickly as possible. And then finally, you will basically hear him say, "Get him back in the APD." And this is where the fun begins, where you have to lure him over to the APD and then shoot him in the back in the direction you want him to go and push him into the APD staircase, where he will get sucked back in, and the Easter egg will basically, the boss fight itself will be over and the Easter egg is basically complete. He will get sucked back in. You'll hear some dialogue. You go over to a monitor, hold square on that monitor, and then you'll hear more dialogue, and then eventually the front door to the APD will open and you'll get the elemental shard. So that's the entire Easter egg. If you guys have any questions over anything, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll do my best to answer any questions you guys may have. Also, leave your gamer tags down below if you would like to party up with some people there. Just comment them and maybe we'll get some friend requests, etc. But that has been the entire tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. We meme around a lot on this channel. We really don't do very many serious videos, but if you did enjoy this one, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Enjoy your Easter egg, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.